everyone, to the world's greatest news and reviews. I am Captain Mal.
And I'm T-Crawler.
I'm Weapon 2. I vacation in Wakanda. When I go to lunch with Deadpool, we eat tacos and chimichanga.
Every time, it's so good.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest podcast, episode 5. We're on 5? Is that what we're doing? We're 5?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds about right. Episode 5.
Close enough.
And welcome the triumphant return of T-Crawler,
Yeah.
who was absent in the last one.
Had to deal with some Germans, as was said previously. Just like Captain America, I dealt with them. And I
You handled it?
I
Is that what you
handled it.
did?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not until next summer. They might come back. Pesky Germans.
Okay, so what are we doing? Shout-outs? Shout-outs that we're doing first?
Let's do it, yes.
All right,
Let's
you
get
got
right
them.
into
Go.
it. So we got some shout-outs. And the first one I want to do is, I'm just going to do that. Hey, we got a new admin. We added a new admin. His name is B Banner.
Welcome, B Banner.
Welcome, B Banner.
Yeah, so welcome, B Banner, and we look forward to your many posts.
Nice to have you aboard.
I love that in the posts that he has made, you could feel like the happiness and joy. You know what I mean? He's like, "Hi, all. It's B Banner here. Here's the post." And I'm like, he's so happy.
Yeah.
Like he's got his whole life ahead of him. He's not all cynical yet.
Oh, that guy. All right, so here we go. We got our shout-outs this time around is going to be our top fans, and I'm going to list the newest top fans that are that have joined us or have got awarded the
Top fan badge.
the badge of
The
top
Facebook
fan.
page top fan
So we
award.
got Lloyd Anthony.
Yeah.
All right, Scott.
Sup, Lloyd?
I like that he called out that he was gonna get it, and then it happened.
It's like a competition.
And I
now.
like
It's
it. It was
like,
awesome.
I'm trying to get this top fan.
That's
badge.
positive thinking at its best. I mean, that's how you that's how you form your own destiny.
Love it.
I like that.
All right, next one is Scott Simon. He's
Nice.
got there, and then we have another one, Mac McKenzie.
Nice. Scott, Mac. Sounded good. Welcome.
Scott, Mac, and Lloyd.
You know,
Yeah,
I love
all you guys.
I love each and every one of our fans, but I love the three of them just a little bit more. just a little bit more. No real reason, but just a little more. Also, while we're on this subject, I want to throw out somebody else on the Facebook said that he's going for the page.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the title. Who was that?
Was it Dan?
Cowles?
Oh, yeah.
Cowles.
Dan Cowles.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
He's going for the badge.
Good luck, Dan. Good luck, Dan.
Join
I'm
the
rooting
club.
for you.
More the merrier.
I'm pulling for you.
The race for the badge. All right, so that's our shout-outs, and now we're just gonna roll over into the polls. So, I usually cover some of the polls that we're on our Facebook page, and
Before you dive into that, can I say something about the polls?
sure, yeah.
Here's the thing. Our boy Venom usually is the one who handles most of the polls, and he usually does a bang-up job. But there was an incident that went down where he put up a bullshit poll about who would win in a fight between Mechagodzilla and the Dragon Zord, right? So whatever side of that you're on, that's on you. But he puts a really badass picture of Mechagodzilla, and then he puts a stupid fucking one of the Dragon Zord from the show with the dude in the costume. And he could have put the same stupid picture of the dude in the suit from the movie, or found a really badass picture of the Dragon Zord.
He could have.
And you know what? I let it go until the last poll when he posted who would you rather have as a sidekick, Robin or fucking War Machine. And then he posted this awesome picture of War Machine and then one of fucking Robin wearing the little short shorts from back in the day.
And the elf shoes.
And I was like, I think he's doing this intentionally to fuck with me. And I didn't say anything until confirmed. You said he did it on purpose.
Yeah, I confirmed it, and your hunch was right.
By the way, I did notice, motherfucker. All right, go ahead.
Are we saying that this is fixed? Are these elections
I'm saying there are some shenanigans afoot on the pictures that he's choosing to sway the votes.
Yeah,
Hey, can I point out one thing?
Yeah.
I posted that. You saw the Giants poll that I posted, right? About the Giant fight?
That's a more recent one, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing I noticed. I noticed that I didn't size my pictures correctly so that the Giants' heads were cut off. And then after I saw it, I said, no, this is genius. They're Giants.
Genius. Brilliant.
I meant to do it. Yeah.
Win!
So so those polls that you both just mentioned the votes have not been finished. I think the Robin War Machine one is like
Yeah, War
one-sided.
Machine's gonna win, whatever.
It is like
No one wants to hang
and
out
that's
with
kind of
me.
like what we talked about with the whole popularity thing. Like a lot of these are based on popularity, and even with the pictures and what they look like, people are I think they're basing on who they pick. So that's just what it is. So I'm gonna actually do just a couple polls from the last time when I wasn't here when I was dealing with the Germans. So we had a poll that was who recovered the best from their initial superhero depiction. We had Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern and Chris Evans as Human Torch. And who do you guys think took that one? Do you guys remember?
Well, I think I remember that
Ryan Reynolds won.
Did Evans win or did Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds won.
Well, I voted Ryan Reynolds.
I voted
but it
Evans.
looked like
I did
people
too.
were voting Evans. It looked like it was leaning that direction when I looked at it.
I voted
last.
Evans. I just think it's from Human Torch to Captain America. I just think it was profoundly better depiction from his first superhero that he played, and it's just my opinion. I mean,
I think
Was that his first superhero? Wasn't Scott Pilgrim?
no, that was in between the two.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, okay, so my humble opinion, Ryan Reynolds is just naturally born to be Deadpool. So in terms of just spot on, nobody else could ever be that character portrayal. Yeah, that's better. But if you look at it, the two Fantastic Four movies sucked. Like nobody really liked those. And then he goes on to become a cornerstone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, appearing in like 6 or 7 movies, being like in all these Avengers movies, like breaking all these records, making all these billions of dollars. To me, like that was the bigger like jump in terms of, you know, overall quality and success. But I agree, Ryan Reynolds is a better fit as Deadpool.
it was. I mean, it wasn't that far.
Why did you vote Deadpool?
I voted Deadpool just because I think that Deadpool in these movies is the perfect personification of Deadpool. And not that Evans is not a good Captain America. It's just about my feelings.
I feel you.
Just about
My feelings. It's my feelings, bro.
It wasn't that far. I mean, it was because Chris Evans had 45% of the vote, and Ryan Reynolds ended up with 55. So, yeah, you know, it was pretty close. It stayed pretty close. So another one. Let's see here. Which is a classic that you would like to see hit the theaters? A remake of the classic. And the two choices were Willow and Neverending Story.
Yeah, and I think in the comments somebody threw it out before I did. They said Legend. And I was like, yeah, I want Legend before those two. But yes, which one won that vote?
Neverending Story is 60%. 60% of the vote.
I think I voted Neverending Story.
I
I
think
did
I
too.
voted Neverending Story also.
Yeah. So our next one and this will be the last one from the. All right, no, I got two actually. So so we have two. This is just a straight up versus fight. The Master of Hadouken, Ryu versus the Hero of Kunlun, Iron Fist.
Is Ryu the master of Hadouken? What about Ken?
Yeah.
Okay. That's acceptable. So Ryu versus Iron Fist, who won?
Ryu, 58% to 42%. So
Do we think that maybe the show drugged down Iron Fist
Yeah.
votes
I
just a
think
bit?
so.
It was
yeah,
the
that's-
Netflix. I blame the Netflix show.
Because I
Yeah.
feel like Iron Fist should win that fight.
I do too. I definitely think it was the show. Okay, so one more. We got who's a better choice to survive for you to survive within a zombie apocalypse? We have Ash or Negan.
I think I
voted
voted
Ash.
I think I voted Ash.
I might not even
lot of-
voted on that one.
A lot
I
of
might not
people
even-
voted Ash. It was 88% to 12. Negan only got 12%.
And I don't know much about either. I just voted Ash to spite you personally.
Yeah.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
You're
Yeah, I
welcome.
appreciate that. So yeah, I picked Negan just because he's less comedic and more badass than Ash. I don't know. So
Doesn't Ash have a chainsaw for like a hand or an arm or some shit?
he does.
Does Negan have a spine problem? Because he's always going like this when he's talking to people on the television show. What the heck is that all
I
about?
don't know which show you were watching. You made it
What's
seem
that?
like he was at a
no,
rave or
watch it.
something.
Go back and watch it. He's always like
Negan wasn't at a rave.
he's
I don't
always
know
like
what he's-
standing weird when he's talking.
Yeah, he
to
does this
people.
little jerk when he
Yeah,
talks, but I
yeah.
mean, it's just,
I think he's
just
got
to emphasize certain
scoliosis
words.
or something.
But he has a
There's no
badass
good
bats.
chiropractors in the post-apocalypse. So.
Okay, so look, so here's some recent polls. Okay, let's see here. We have the Moon Knight. For those of people that know, not a lot of people know Moon Knight, but Moon Knight,
The best Batman.
How dare you?
Yes, Moon Knight versus Nightwing.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight won. Yeah.
No,
Moon Knight.
no.
The Nightwing win?
Nightwing won.
As-
54
Yes.
to 46.
Bullshit.
I will. I think I voted Nightwing. Just
Yeah,
for
you
devil's
did. Of
advocate.
course
yeah.
you did.
It's Moon Knight wins that fight. Like, come on now.
Talk about rigged.
It wasn't rigged.
Yeah.
The popularity contest, maybe.
So although Venom does a lot of the polls, we generally sometimes we jump in and we'll add a poll there. Recently, Weapon 2 had a poll, and he did a couple of them. Actually, two of them were like which character changed the most, and the one that
I like those, by the way. Those are
the one
Oh,
that
thanks.
I
Thanks,
picked
guys.
to talk about was the Nick Fury versus Hank McCoy Beast. Which one of those characters changed the most throughout their comic
Who won that?
history?
I don't think I ever
You
checked.
have Nick Fury who's a white guy
He changed race.
in the military
Yeah.
with 2 eyes, and next thing you know, he's changed his ethnicity and lost an eye and his hair.
Didn't the white
And
Nick
then you
Fury
have Beast,
and his hair?
who's
I didn't think about
shaped like an ape, but later he changes to blue and grows fur.
So they both
and is
change
still
colors.
shaped like an ape.
They both change colors.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, Beast changed
I
more.
mean, one grew
but
hair all over his entire body.
Nick Fury's is funnier.
Yeah,
Who won?
But Hank McCoy won.
Of course.
Beast won 57% to 43. So again, it's not too big a margin. Let's see here. Another one that kind of struck me is like, okay, really, it was the soul. So the holder of the Soul Taker sword, Katana, versus Lady Deathstrike.
I think I voted Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, I voted
Who are we talking about again?
Katana versus Lady Deathstrike.
I don't
from
think I voted on that
DC's
one.
Katana. The one that was in Suicide
Who won?
Squad in the movie, whatever. Anyway, 23% for Katana and Lady
Yeah.
Deathstrike 58. So
It would be cool if they portrayed Lady Deathstrike accurately in a future movie.
yeah,
I like
but
her.
that because that was Fox doing that, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, nothing but better things.
I wish I had superpowers.
Just in general.
I wish I was rich and I had superpowers.
What if you can get superpowers, but it was Beast? Like you're gonna be blue and shit.
Yeah, I love it.
Super intelligent.
Yeah, he's one of my
straight,
favorites. I'm
yeah.
down with that.
All right,
Yeah, he's not just blue. He has other stuff.
that's the
Going
big
for
one.
Super strong.
Yeah,
Smart.
super smart.
All right,
Yeah,
Smart as a son of a gun.
I just want to be like Vic. Why are you so sad? No, I'm just a little blue.
oh my.
He's a big blue.
Because I like puns. All right,
Big blue
is that all for the polls?
So that's all for the polls, guys. That's it.
All right, do we want to move on to the news?
What's big blue and hairy?
Wow. Okay. Let's do the news, guys. So, first story that I got, I actually haven't gone over these with T. Crawler yet, so these would be all shock and awe for him. But the first one is that Taika Waititi has officially been announced to be the director
Awesome.
of Thor 4.
Perfect.
Did you not know this?
No, I saw that.
Perfect.
Because you posted on Facebook. Also.
That is true.
The director of the best Thor movie is going to be directing the next Thor movie.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Right, but
Yeah.
until something's set in stone, like you never know. But
Right.
yes, the best Thor movie, arguably one
So,
of the best Marvel movies.
This is what's funny. Like that makes sense, right? They do something that makes sense, right? It's logical. Now, if it was DC, they would do the opposite.
Yeah.
Best direct the next. Best direct the next. Yeah.
They would be like Taika Waititi out for Thor 4. Warner Brothers DC bring in fucking.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I might like that.
I might watch it.
I would probably watch it.
After Green Hornet? No. I don't want to.
No,
I don't want to. Well,
but he did Preacher.
He did do
No,
Preacher, that's
he
true,
was
yeah.
a producer
Okay.
on
Ah.
Preacher.
Direct.
He wasn't a director.
He did Pineapple Express. Did he direct Pineapple Express?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
All right.
Where's the superhero in that?
I would still be somewhat okay with that. It's not the worst decision DC would ever make. But yeah, so I guess universally,
Oh no, they've made plenty right now. Yeah.
universally, we're all on board with this.
Yes.
Could it
Yes,
be excited? More excited?
Yes.
He definitely understands the character and like how to bring an element of humor to it and still making him be portrayed as badass. My question though is like this is actually cool because he's going to be the first one of our Marvel heroes to get a fourth movie. Up until this, Iron Man and Cap technically had 3 movies in their
Right.
individual series.
That's right.
So we're actually going to get a Thor 4. But I'm just like, how is this going to affect his pairing with the Guardians? Because I think we're all on board for him to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, as
sequel,
Guardians of the
as
Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever. So is this going to be?
You know, there's a comic called As Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
that was-
I did not know that.
I'll talk about it here at the end.
That's
if we have
pretty
time.
dope. So do we think that he's going to be in Guardians and then in Thor 4?
Yes,
do we
sir.
think Thor 4 is
I mean,
going
he
to
will.
be Guardians? Do you
Will.
think it's going to be the same thing?
He
What
will.
do you think?
Yes, he's going to
Said
be.
yes to all of that?
Yes, he's going to
Yes,
be. In,
yes
he's
to everything.
Gonna,
Put Chris
he's gonna
Hemsworth
be-
in every fucking movie.
He's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And
for
are
Men in
you
Black.
asking if the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in the next
Not
one?
Men
No,
in
no,
Black.
I'm saying is like Thor 4 going to be just a movie with all of them together, or is he going to be in Guardians 3 and then Thor 4 is going to be a separate movie?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
so
sir.
You
That's
think
what it's
that's
going to
what's
be.
gonna happen?
Yes.
Okay. I would be on board with
Yeah,
that.
I'm on board. with
He
that.
hangs out with them, goes on a space adventure, and then goes and does his own thing.
That's right.
Okay, that's cool. I'm excited.
There's going to be a lot of stuff going down in the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. There's going to be a lot of characters introduced. It's going to be awesome.
You mentioned in
It's
a
gonna be
private
fly.
conversation off camera that you heard a rumor that Mr. Beta Ray Bill might be in Thor 4.
Yes.
So which I say, don't you dare get my hopes up
Yes, I
until
can't
this
wait.
is confirmed, because I love Beta Ray
He's
Bill.
one of many. It's going to be awesome.
Do you know what Beta Ray Bill is?
No.
He's awesome.
He's kind of.
hear
If
that.
you Google awesome, shows you a picture of a horse with a fucking hammer.
Yeah, he looks kind of. His head looks kind of like a horse skull, and he's a Thor.
There was an Easter egg of him in Thor Ragnarok.
I believe he was the wielder of Stormbreaker.
He was the original wielder of Stormbreaker.
There you go.
Yes, Stormbreaker was made for him, actually.
Yes,
Yep.
that is correct, sir.
So, okay. I think we're all excited for Thor and the Guardians and all that kind of stuff moving forward. Okay, so next news story is, before I give you the story, I want to know, what did you think of that Ghostbusters reboot came out a little while ago?
Boo.
'Cause that was one of the least funny things I'd ever seen.
Yeah, it didn't.
Nothing to do with the fact that it was an all-female cast. That
No,
was just an
it
unfunny movie.
It was not funny.
Yes, I am not a fan of trying to. I was going to say reboot it, but it wasn't complete reboot because they went with the female slant, and it wasn't that there was a female
Maybe a
cast.
soft
It's just
reboot?
that I don't know that the
It's just
writing
that-
was good
that's
for
it,
it.
the movie just sucked, yeah.
I think that if they had a good writing, that could have been a
I
pretty
was like,
funny movie.
Melissa McCarthy in the right
She's
movie,
hilarious.
She's funny. The Heat
She's
is fucking hilarious.
hilarious.
It's very
And
funny.
she was not funny in that movie. And what was a shame, why I felt that movie was kind of a waste, is because they had cameos from all the surviving original cast.
Yeah.
And they just weren't even the same characters, didn't exist in the same universe, was a total retelling. But the reason I bring that up is because Ghostbusters 2020 is announced, and it's going to be a direct sequel to Ghostbusters 1 and 2, exist in the same universe. No word
Yay.
yet if it's going to be a younger cast and all that. But
Wait,
apparently-
it's not going to be the same cast?
I believe they're coming back, but I'm saying I don't know if they're going to be just in cameo roles, like training younger team, whatever. So that's my question is,
Oh.
how would you want this to happen? Would you want all of them to be together, just the team one last run? Or would you want them to be training
I
youngsters?
would be great if it was like them coming out of retirement to fight ghosts one more time and try to trap them. And I would also be cool if here's the thing, if the writing's good and everything feels right and the movie flows right, then I don't really care. I'm just not a fan of rebooting and trying to remake movies. I'm cool with continuing the story. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm also a fan of if it's the same time period, something else happening in another area or somewhere else at the same time, but not trying to make the same movie.
But you
over
want it
again.
to exist in the same universe.
Yes.
You don't want it rebooted. You want the exact. Yeah.
Yes, I want the original to be its own thing and them not to
Which
try to
is
make
why
it again.
I loved the concept of Men in Black International, that, hey, it's different characters and a different branch, but it exists in the same universe. The events of the first 3 movies still happened. I still got a shitty movie, though. But anyway, the concept is on point.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you care?
About the Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
I mean,
Eh.
yeah.
Who are you gonna call?
So,
Ghostbusters.
all right, so this next one's
The original.
a story that
real Ghostbusters.
only I'm really going to care about. But as you guys may or may not know, Hasbro purchased the Power Rangers. And so they are going to make another Power Rangers movie.
Go, Power
Exactly.
Rangers.
And so the last Power Rangers movie that came out from Saban didn't do very well. Only made about $140 million worldwide. So it was kind of a bomb.
Oh, I liked it.
I liked it too. I thought it was good. I was on board for sequels. It wasn't perfect, but it was.
How much
was
did it
enough.
cost to
It's
make?
entertaining.
I think about 100 million, something like that.
And it made how much? 200.
No, it made about 140.
Yeah.
So so you're not. They lost money.
Sometimes now, as long as you're not losing, well, here's the thing: if you're trying to go in a direction and you've got a kind of a franchise going, and it's
You need to at least
Yeah.
be breaking even if
Yeah.
you want to justify sequels.
Right,
And
I hear
it
you.
lost money. So, but I liked the movie enough. But Hasbro announced that they're making another one. But they just said it's going to be a total reboot, total redone, everything. And I wasn't sad. The only thing that I'm really kind of upset about is Naomi Scott.
I was gonna say, you're not gonna have Naomi
I'm kind of in love with her. She's not going to be the Pink Ranger anymore. But then I thought about it. She's the only thing I'm going to miss. Everything else about that movie, I was just like, it was good and it worked, but mostly nostalgia. So if I can get like a better version, I'm on board. So yeah, I'm happy that it's a reboot. I'm just happy they're trying another shot. They're taking another shot at it because that movie was okay. It was watchable.
So not a
I didn't love it.
sequel.
Not a
It's
sequel.
gonna be-
Remake.
okay.
And if I could suggest anything, dark and gritty. Go dark and gritty because you tried to do like a lighthearted kind of kid-friendly version and it wasn't really accepted well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched the Power Dash Rangers short film that is on YouTube. You can find it.
Oh my gosh.
That
was
is total
awesome.
dark, like blood, violence, drugs type thing, and that was amazing. Like you watch that and you're like, make that fucking movie. Like,
Yeah.
where's this?
So I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
As a fan, since you are a fan, I'm not saying I'm a fan. Since you're a fan of Power Rangers from being a kid, isn't that like too far the opposite direction of what the original idea and intellectual property and whatever you want to call it was to go really dark and gritty with those characters. Because I just see it. When I see it, I see what like my kids and we used to watch with the silly moves and dancing and just crazy.
Yeah, so it is.
Top.
It's definitely the original product is cheesy and campy and geared toward kids. But the reason I'm saying that I think this works, going, yes, totally the completely other way, is because things need to change and evolve for the times, right? The Christopher Reeve Superman movies we love, but for a modern era, modern version, those would come off incredibly cheesy and campy. Same thing with Batman. Back in the 70s, he's dancing and shit. Adam West Batman worked. Modern version, you can't really do that anymore. Like darker and grittier works a little bit better. I feel like this...
I think I see what's going on here.
They lend themselves to a darker storytelling.
This is the same as Harry Potter. When the first Harry Potter movie came out, it was kind of really silly and it was a kid's movie. Mm-hmm. As the fans grew in age, the material grew to be kind of a darker, more. So this is what this is. Yeah. You started out with the material when you were a kid, and it was right for you then. Yes. And now that you're older and you want to see dark and gritty, you want it dark and gritty. I'm on board. I figured it out.
I was 6 years old when this show aired. Now I'm an adult, and you'll get my money.
I just pieced the puzzle together. Yeah. I'm down.
So that's exactly what I want. And I think,
I see what's going
and again, if you go dark, not like it doesn't have to be a hard R, but if you go a little bit more mature, something that adults will like, but can still lend itself to a kid watching it. Like kids still want to watch The Dark Knight. You know what I mean? So I think it could be successful if they go away from what the first movie tried to do.
Yeah.
So, all right. So moving on. Okay. So this is an interesting one. So, details of if you guys don't know, Sony had the movie rights to Spider-Man, right? That's why they were making the Sam Raimi trilogy. That's why they made the Andrew Garfield 2 movies. And because those didn't do so hot, Marvel didn't get the rights back to Spider-Man. They made a deal with Sony in that they could use the character and incorporate him in the MCU. And Sony stayed creative. Yeah, basically. They have creative control. But Sony still retains the distributing rights and all that kind of stuff. Profits. Yeah. They share a little bit of profits, but it's mostly money for Sony. Essentially, Sony just gets the kickback and let fucking them do Spider-Man in the MCU and just collect their checks, right?
Right.
Now, details got leaked as to what the actual contract stated, and two kind of things to note popped up. One being Tom Holland was contracted for 6 movies, 3 standalone Spider-Man movies, and 3 other MCU appearances, meaning he has 1 movie left on his contract. Now, we'll start there. You got really wide-eyed. He hasn't said whether or not he's renewing, if he's going to sign again, what they're going to do. I think you have a lot of options here. If you choose not to re-sign him or he doesn't want to, I mean, you could maybe use this last movie to set up something else, maybe Miles Morales, the success of the Spider-Verse. Would you rather have him re-sign and be the cornerstone of the MCU for the next 10 years? What do you guys want? What do you guys think of that?
It's like zoink scoop.
Here's what I am. I'm happy with whatever whatever happens, as long as the stories keep happening. If here's the thing, if he says I'm not gonna do it anymore, will I be upset? Yes. Do I think he's the best Spider-Man? Yes. Is it going to be the end of my world? No, because they're going to keep telling Marvel stories with Marvel characters, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. I would love to see Miles Morales or any of the other Spider-Universe characters.
But would you not want them to recast Peter Parker? Would
you
want them to write him out?
I wouldn't. But Sony can do whatever they want because they make sucky Spider-Man movies. So if they decide that they want to, if they decide that, I don't think Marvel would ever recast the Peter Parker Spider-Man character, and they would. I mean, if he's not going to come back, he's not going to come back. But he's a young kid. He's not some old guy. Right. Put enough money in front of him, and he's going to come back. Plus, he'll make as many movies as you want, as long as you give him enough money.
He loves his character.
He seems like he loves doing it. He loves being a part of it. And you're right. This made his
career.
He's
too young to hold out on stuff. He's going to do what they tell him to.
I would be like, I want to make all of the Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Fucking all of them. So that was part 1. Part 2 of this is that there was a clause in there where Sony could essentially get out of this contract and get all the rights back to Spider-Man if Spider-Man Far From Home does not gross $1 billion. Now, as of the recording of this podcast, Spider-Man Far From Home is 15 days in release, and it's already grossed $858 million, so it's going to make $1 billion. But my personal thoughts on this is not that Sony was 100% gonna freaking remove him if it didn't make $1 billion. That was just a way for them out of the contract if they were unhappy with how things were going. I think even if it doesn't make $1 billion, there's no way in hell they're pulling out because this is only benefiting them. But what do you guys think about that?
I agree with you. I think that the worst thing they can do is to try to make more live-action Spider-Man movies on their own. It doesn't make sense for them. They tried several times, and they haven't been successful.
Correct, and I feel like their bag just make Spider-Verse movies, make animated Spider-Verse movies. Do that.
I mean, and they're already going to keep trying to make Venom and Carnage and
Morpheus.
the symbiote.
They're making Morpheus movies.
Yeah, they're going to do. They're going to make their things, and hopefully they're going to be more successful with some of the other characters. Because I root for every company that wants to make superhero movies. I'm on your side, but I don't know.
What do you think, too, Carla?
I mean, I agree with a lot of things you guys said too. So it's just Sony should stick with the Spider-Verse movies and whatever, Morpheus in dealing with the other things in the Spider-Verse, but don't take the Tom Holland away from the MCU contract, whatever. It just makes sense, and we've seen far too many times when things that make sense, the companies go different ways, and you're like, why the hell do they do that? Yeah. Like, what were you thinking?
I think as long as Tom Holland's down, they're going to keep him as Spider-Man. I feel like the cornerstone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward is going to be Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Guardians, and Thor. Like, they're going to incorporate, and Black Panther. I mean, they're going to incorporate all the other ones and do all that kind of stuff, but they're going to be the big ones they focus on, I think
as long as the things that make sense are wildly successful, they're going to keep going in that direction. It's the ones that make sense, so they go, I don't know if it did as good as we wanted it to. That's when they start panicking, going other directions.
Okay, next one. So, at the time of this recording, The Lion King, the Disney remake, is going to open tomorrow. Do it.
I don't know all the words. I don't know it all.
That is not it
I know.
at all.
Is there some of this?
Dude, I watched this video where the dude was playing the song and he started singing lyrics, and now I can never get them out of my head. He was just like, so it's like when that part hits and then it gets real slow and then there's just like chanting, and he's like, pink pajamas, pink ones on the bottom. Pink pajamas, pink ones on the bottom. Now I can't fucking unhear it. I'm just like, oh my god, you like simultaneously ruined and made better something from my childhood. It's the funniest fucking thing. Anyway, so that's coming out tomorrow. As you guys know, or if you know me at all, I am beyond excited for that movie. It's my favorite childhood movie ever, and I can't wait to go see that. I bought my tickets about 2 weeks ago.
You're gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry like a fucking baby, and I'm not gonna be ashamed. But anyway. The story is that it's currently sitting at a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a rotten rating. Do we care? Do we think that's going to affect anything? Do we think it's going to affect the movie's box office? Do we think it's indicative to the movie being bad? What do we think?
No, it's Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that the Disney movies are just going to keep making money. Now, that's a different thing whether I think I'm a huge fan of them continuing to make these classic cartoons into live-action movies, but it's for a new audience. Like we said, this is not the same people that are going to go see this. Other than the adults that remember the old stuff, this is a whole brand new bunch of kids that are going to come in, and they're not attached to the old stuff. So
so it's money making. It's going to make money. It's going to make billions, and I don't think it's representative. I don't think it matters.
Representative.
Words are hard.
Bam! Nailed it. First try. As to the quality of the movie, I think the movie's going to be phenomenal. I hope it's going to be phenomenal. But I don't think a low score is going to affect it. I don't think it's going to panic at all because, All right. So last story that I have is Sandman, which was written by, I believe, Neil Gaiman. Was it Neil Gaiman? It was Neil Gaiman. Yeah. Very, very, very awesome graphic novel. It's been in and out of the works of whether or not it was going to be a movie. At one point, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was attached to it. But now it is officially announced that it is going into production as a Netflix original series, which I think is 1,000 times better than being a movie.
Yeah.
I am very excited for this. David Goyer's attached. What do you guys think of that?
I like it. I can't wait to see it.
See, Crawler?
I like it also. No, I like it. I enjoy it. The fact that it's Netflix makes a big difference to than being a movie, like you said. Because I think with a series, you can just continue the story, and I think there's a lot of things out there that should have been made series and not just into a movie.
Yeah,
so
this
is going to be. I think it's going to be really.
This
good.
lends itself to episodic storytelling. I don't think 2 hours would be enough time to make.
Right, and it goes to show that yes, Netflix is losing the Marvel IP, but you know what, they have other things that they're going to start putting onto their, onto Netflix. Like you got Sandman, you have some stuff from Mark Millar's stuff coming over. I just think it's going to be interesting to see what
Still
other
got the
stuff.
Umbrella Academy, which
Yeah,
is dope.
yeah,
I mean,
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Netflix. No one's thinking Netflix is going to be hurting anytime
No.
soon. I'm just, to me, if they're going to make Sandman, I feel like you have to make it a certain way. And hearing that it's Netflix is automatically like a stamp of quality to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know it's going to be good. Just the level of how good. So, yeah, I think that's all I got for the news, gentlemen. So,
Nice.
anything else, news stories that you guys heard of that you want to throw out?
No, I think you've done a great job with your topics that you've chosen for this episode.
Okay, do we want to talk about Spider-Man a little bit? Do you want to go into that or say that for the end?
Let's talk about Spider-Man.
So, Spider-Man Far From Home came out a little while ago. We did watch it, and we attempted to record a regular review and our video review
And it
formats.
bombed.
It bombed. There was a technical issue that happened with the recording.
Our filming crew went on strike with Amazon.
My team did their best, but it couldn't salvage it. So basically, we lost the review. We had like a 20-minute review, one that we were all pretty happy with.
We were stoked.
We were very excited.
Yeah,
We even went as far as to try to refilm it, and the energy just wasn't there.
No, but it was still there, and then it ruined it again.
Fucked up again. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, that video went down the drain. So we're gonna not talk as in depth, but we're gonna mention, go over some of the things, some highlights that we liked.
I wanted to say that I appreciate you guys out there that were asking, like, hey, when are you guys putting your review up? When are you guys going to talk about Spider-Man, Far From Home?
Yeah, we didn't forget.
Anytime you guys, tell us, these things, like, we really appreciate that you guys are watching and that we're entertaining you, because that's our main goal. We love to entertain you guys, and if it's funny and entertaining, then we're doing what we're
Yes,
doing
thank you. And the question of that was, we filmed it already, and we already tried this, and now we're going to talk about it again. That's the answer to the question.
C. Crawler, did you like Spider-Man Far From Home?
I can't even fake that I didn't like it. I loved it. Now it's like my number one movie.
Weapon 2, did you like Spider-Man Far From Home?
I love that movie. That was arguably the best Spider-Man movie ever made on this planet.
The best live-action Spider-Man movie ever
Yes,
made.
sir.
Period. Dot. End story. You motherfuckers on the internet that are still trying to hold that Spider-Man 2 is a superior movie. You need to get
No.
the fuck off that high horse.
Yeah,
No.
It is not a better movie.
Not.
Nostalgia's a motherfucker.
Jeez.
Get over it. That is the best Raimi movie.
I understand that
is
you're
the best
villains.
Spider-Man movie.
But it's not the truth.
I respect
Nope.
your opinion. Just know that you're wrong.
You're wrong.
But anyway, so let's talk about some high points in that movie. We won't, obviously talk as in depth, but to me, what stole the show is Jake Gyllenhaal. He was perfect as Mysterio. That was better than any version of Mysterio I could have imagined live action. Weapon 2, what'd you think?
Yes. The three things that I loved about that was, number one, what you said, Jake Gyllenhaal's portrayal of Mysterio in the way they did it with him being true to the character.
Hang on.
Huh?
Spoiler alert. We're probably going to spoil a little bit if you haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's keeping you out of the movie
Seriously.
theater? If you haven't seen it yet, you're not a Spider-Man fan, and it doesn't matter. Just
You
plug
probably
your
would
ears
have
out a
Said
little
it
bit.
better, Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Mysterio, the way he stayed true of him being a master of illusion and misdirection and kind of an engineer and a person that kind of make FX type things happen. I like the way they stepped it up to another level where he's working with all the disgruntled. You know what I see? I see a lot of disgruntled
Stark
Corp
employees?
employees
He's
in a
not a
lot
good
of different
employer,
movies.
Yeah.
So apparently there's been some problems with job satisfaction there. But they all team up and they make this thing believable that you have instead of it's just him like in the comic book, there's like a team where you're going, oh, I can kind of see how that would happen.
Yeah.
Other thing I loved, the relationship and chemistry between MJ and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Thought that was great. What's her name? The actress,
Zeldana
or whatever. She's
Zendaya.
I mean,
Zendaya, right.
she was excellent in this movie. The other thing that was hysterical to me that I still think is probably one of the highlights of this is the relationship between what's his friend's name?
Ned.
Ned. I'm horrible with names.
Ned
and the girl that is his
Betty.
girlfriend.
Becky.
So he's
Betty.
hyping up their trip to Ned is hyping up their trip to Europe. They're going to be bachelors in Europe, and he's saying, "What's wrong with Peter Parker? Why are you so attached to MJ? Because we're going to be bachelors." Then he meets her, and then they go from from he wants to bachelor it up till he gets into this
Full-on
serious relationship where he feels like he's become a man, and they're like just this crazy
Reminiscing
relationship
about when he fell in
all
love.
sappy,
Oh my gosh.
just couldn't be more in love. And by the end, they have this most mature
Very
and
amicable.
amicable
very
breakup
amicable.
where they just they appreciate each other. They were thankful for the time they spent together.
But they move
they
on
knew
with
they
their
had
lives.
grown apart and they need to move.
That was maybe the funniest thing in the movie.
So I love
his
that
friend
movie.
Ned is awesome. That's a good addition to that.
Yeah, I concur with all your points. To me, Jake Gyllenhaal stole pretty much every scene he was in as Mysterio. The fact that he had a team of engineers with him made that whole gimmick utterly more believable. Zendaya, whatever. I wasn't a huge fan of hers in the first movie, but she had so much more to do in this, and it was completely awesome. Like, she brought it. Her chemistry with Tom Holland was fucking believable and on point. To the fact where like you root for them.
Yeah.
You want him and her to get together. The fight scenes were awesome. The hallucination, like mindfuck sequence with
good.
with Mysterio was just oh my god, it was like watching the cartoon but better. Everything about the movie worked. What were highlights for you?
Everything. No, I love. Like I said, the movie was amazing.
But I'm dish.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. No, but I love. Everybody knows I love Spider-Man, but this movie was just awesome. Like
Ultimate.
It was. So, I love the way they did Mysterio. I agree with the points Weapon 2 made with that character. Actually, I agree with everything that you guys have said. I do love the fact that we do get to see Peter without his suit doing things without his suit, because it just reminded me.
You had clothes on though, right?
Well, yeah.
I'm just checking.
I mean, you watched it.
All right. No, I'm just making sure.
It's just, it shows that he's more comfortable, and I mean, you would think at this point he would be more comfortable, but they
Peter
actually
Tingle.
show it without really like, mentioning it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just showed
It's
him
because
doing things.
yeah,
It's
Tom
like,
Holland can carry the movie. You can be invested and give a shit about that character
Right.
and watch the movie. He doesn't need to be in the suit.
so, the incorporation of the other suits was awesome also. But my favorite thing of all is the way that he had to go and defeat these holograms and defeat Mysterio. He had to use the spider sense, which in the comics,
Peter Tingle.
it's yeah, I love that Peter Tingle. But that's the one. It's the one thing he has to do to beat Mysterio. And he, in other comics I've read, like he's explained it to people. There's one time he explained it to Mary Jane in one of the comics, like I had to learn how to use my spider sense and hone in on that, and he used it. And again, just like they didn't mention his Uncle Ben in the first one too much, they kind of just, you knew what they were talking about without them saying it. Even though they called it the Peter Tingle, like, you knew it was like, okay, his spider sense has to take, he has to like focus and use it. And he did it. I mean, he dodged things. He did things that Spider-Man do that you see on the comic, and it's freaking awesome when they put something from a comic onto the movie screen, and it looks like, like I'm watching this comic come to life. It's like it was just awesome. I can keep on, but I don't want to.
I
That's
concur.
Just, it's awesome.
They accept the fact that the audience is smart enough to know information like the spider sense, and they don't need to be spoon-fed that information, so which is great. And I think we need to talk about the mid-credit scene, which basically stole the entire movie, which is J.K. Simmons coming back as J. Jonah Jameson, which is the one thing I think universally everybody wanted to happen, but nobody thought would happen because it's recasting an actor to reprise a role from a previous series of movies. Brilliant.
That is
brilliant.
When
Cheered. My theater cheered.
That's when the hardcore fans come out, because you hear the cheers from the hardcore fans that know who this guy is and what it means to see him in this movie and doing what he does. Like,
it also shows Marvel and how they're just like, no, fuck it, this is gonna work, and I'm gonna do what works.
Yeah.
And so I think the movie's not perfect. I have little nitpicks here and there, but that's all they are nitpicks. If we redid our top 10 superheroes list of all time, this would be on there for me.
Definitely.
It was better than I wanted it to be, better than I expected it to be. It was the perfect, like, fun superhero movie. It made me laugh. It was entertaining the entire time. The action was great. It got me excited.
Good acting. They understood the characters.
Yes.
The writing was good. I mean, that's what it takes to make a really good movie like this.
They just understand the character.
It's people thought there was going to be no Iron Man, and I mean there were things in this movie that had to do with Iron Man. You had Stark Industries tech, you had Happy, you had of course, I mean, Iron Man was just lost to us, so it's like, you're going to have this. I honestly think the next movie, and that's my opinion, I don't know how you guys think, but I think the next movie is going to be far less, if any.
But this movie was
Tony Stark,
very Iron Man heavy, and it
Even
needed
Dead,
to
I'm
be.
the hero.
Yeah, that was hilarious. It needed to be Iron Man heavy because Peter Parker wasn't just going to move on from Tony Stark's dying.
Right.
That was going to very much affect him dramatically.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that because
Yeah.
it shows like, okay, like some movies do that. They're like, okay, he doesn't even care about
Yeah.
what the, like what
And
the
this is
hell?
the thing, like he keeps thinking this entire movie he needs to be the next Iron Man. It's like, no, you don't. You just need to be Spider-Man.
Right.
And he realizes that at the end, and that's why it's a great part of why it's a great movie. So yeah, those are kind of in a nutshell our thoughts.
What about the
Anything to
end
add?
credits?
Oh yeah,
With
the scrolls.
the scrolls.
Secret invasion.
Yeah, I think
Scrolls
that,
all around us.
that might still happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Man,
Secret, they're all around us. Don't trust anybody. I don't know if I can trust you guys.
You can trust
Okay.
us.
Tell me something only we would know.
So it's fair to say we loved Spider-Man Far
Yes,
From Home. If you
yes.
haven't seen it, go watch it.
Definitely.
It is kind of the best type of superhero summer action fun movie.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing? We're doing our top
Are we
five?
going to talk about Jessica Jones or no?
Well, I think we're
videos
gonna
of that?
do a review for
We're going to do a
Jessica
review.
Jones.
Okay, good. So let's move into our top 5 action movies of the 1980s.
So we decided to trim these down a bit for runtime purposes. We're not doing top 10 lists. We're all going to do top 5.
Top 5.
Should make it more interesting. So 1980s action movies. Go. Oh,
Yes.
by the way, per request, no superhero movies are included in these lists because somebody didn't want to add them. So, okay.
He feels like we talk about too much about superheroes, I guess.
I don't feel like we talk too much.
And I was like, okay, well then
we
how
do
you
something that-
well,
Is
we
there
need
such a
So,
thing?
and we're like
No, there's no
sci-fi
such
movies
thing.
included. He's like, yeah. I'm like, so how do you define 80s
Okay.
action? He's like, bullets and blowing up stuff.
blowing up.
We left in
explosions and
sci-fi
bullets.
because you can't take that out.
Yeah,
of
you
it.
gotta leave in sci-fi.
Okay.
You can never talk too much about superheroes. There's no such thing as
All right,
superhero
fellas.
fatigue. I've already covered this.
Okay, fellas.
This
What are we doing?
conversation's
Who start?
giving me
Who
fatigue.
we starting with? Me?
You start.
Yeah,
Me?
go ahead.
Number 5?
Number 5.
Number 5, The Terminator.
No.
The Terminator was your perfect movie about what my biggest fear and what I know is going to be the end of humanity on
Yeah,
the
what's
face
that?
of this earth. That's for us. The robots are going to kill us all. That's what I'm saying.
I, for one, would like to welcome
AI,
our new robot overlords.
AI,
Welcome.
I'm going to sell the human race out hard.
self-awareness of robots, and they're going to kill us all. And that's what's going to happen. And that's what this movie is all about. He's about a movie coming back. About a robot coming back from the future to kill the person who's the leader of the rebellion against the robot. Whatever you call it.
Calm down. It's okay. It's okay.
They're killing us all.
it's okay.
Whatever it's called, they kill us all. The extermination of all mankind.
Genocide.
All right.
I love
That's
that
what
they
it's
made
about.
this movie once and they've just been making the same one every fucking sequel. But yeah.
People still buy tickets and they go see it. So
Okay. My number 5 80s action movie.
and hold on. I'm sure you had to dig because.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
you're still.
So I'm gonna say this. I literally put this list together before I came here. I was born in '86, but I'm a child of the '90s. So next week or next month when we do the '90s action movies,
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. This was hard for me because I don't have a big emotional connection to most '80s movies. So I had to do some digging. I had to go back into the old vaults and the old feelings and see what resonated with me. But I got a list, and I'm proud of my list.
All
I'm
right.
ready to talk
I'm
about
just
my list.
interested. I'm
Okay,
it's
well,
gonna
go
be
for it.
interesting.
All right.
I'm excited to hear it.
Number 5. I even have a bunch of honorable.
Whoa, sorry, bro. Sorry, I just kicked his
you unplug
headphones.
me?
No.
No, you're still.
I don't think
I'm
so.
still there. Hey, we keep this show rolling.
All right.
So I even have a bunch of honorable mentions at the end. Yeah, how about that? My number 5. Number 5. Predator. Yeah, Predator. It's my number 5 because this is Arnold Schwarzenegger at his fucking best, at his most awesome. Jesse the Body, Jesse the Mind,
Jesse,
Ventura
yes.
is in this movie. You have a movie about this fucking alien just murdering a bunch of freaking soldiers in Vietnam, and you have like an awesome fight between him and Arnold at the end. And the scene that really sticks out to me is the Predator, won't kill unarmed people, but it wants to kill him, so it just fucking takes everything off and throws it down with Arnold. And yeah, I think pure 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger action at its best.
Carl Weathers was in there too. It's another.
Yeah.
All right, T. Crowley.
My number 5. My number 5 is Lethal Weapon.
Ooh.
And I would say Lethal Weapon 2 for me. That came out later in the 80s. So, but I like all the movies are in Lethal Weapon series. But that was just this one. That would be my number 5. Just
Which
see
one was
Danny
that one?
Glover and Mel
The
Gibson.
mullet with Mel Gibson mullet wearing.
No, I
And
know the
Danny
series,
Glover?
but what's
Danny-
2?
Danny
What
Glover's
happens in
in there,
2
right?
specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What happens in
The
2?
buddy cop movie.
I know the series.
Mel Gibson's
I-
crazy.
son of a
Okay,
bitch.
no. Okay, what are we asking?
What's
What is
2? What happens in 2? They're all one big movie to me. I can't.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of it was when I was thinking about it. It's almost like it's kind of one big movie to me. The only one that really like are different for me was obviously 4 and 3. 1 and 2 kind of merged together for me also.
Did you watch the TV show?
Yeah, I did watch the TV show.
Was it any good?
And actually, it was surprisingly good. It was crazy because my wife and I were talking. And that's one of her favorite series also. And she's like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And it's Fox. So it sucks because on Fox TV show, that means if you like it and it's good, they're going to cancel it, right? So the TV show came out and it was actually good. Like Damon Wayans played the part of Murtaugh, and it was he wasn't over the top funny. I thought he was going to be over the top funny. No, it was actually really well done for him to play that role. And the guy that got to play his partner is I can't remember his name, but it was really well. It just shows it showed more of their partnership and what they did, nice. And how their partnership grew and everything. So it was actually really well. And unfortunately, it did get canceled.
Of course, because it's Fox. They
but
cancel everything.
It's for other reasons that. This time it wasn't just Fox cutting something out, but anyway.
All right. Well, up to number 4.
Die Hard. Die Hard is my next one.
Okay.
It's the best Christmas movie every year. It also has some of the best one-liners. It probably has one of the best villains of all time in that movie. It's just all around a good movie. I mean, you're going to a Christmas party, you want to chill out. You got a rich wife who she runs the corporation or something like that. That's not how it goes. And you're at the Christmas party, and next thing but I think that they're split up or something. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've watched it. And trying to visit your kid or something. And then you're there, and the terrorists come to take over the building. And you're fighting for your kid. Nobody knows you're in there. You're like a mole operative in there trying to work behind the scenes to rescue everybody and save everybody. It's a great action adventure movie.
Nice. All right. Number 4 for me, Aliens. So jumping on to, we can still include sci-fi movies in this. I was actually going to do Alien, the first one, until I saw that Aliens Part 2, the sequel, is actually also in the 80s. I thought that came out in the early 90s. To me, I like Aliens better. I know it's not as hard.
There's more?
Well, there's more. Yeah. More of everything's
more
better.
Shooting.
No, but it's Alien, the first one, if I remember correctly, was a little bit more horror tone. And I remember Aliens is more action. And the scene, again, I'm thinking about what stood out to me cinematically. Sigourney Weaver in that mech suit fighting the Queen, I think is, just classic 80s action. Get there, you bitch. So the movie just sticks out in my brain. I remember loving it. I remember being scared of them. And I just remember genuinely enjoying it better in the first one, but I wanted to include one of them on here because I think they're a definitive part of the 80s sci-fi action genre. So yeah, mine is Aliens.
Nice.
You're
Number
next.
4?
Number 4.
Number 4 for me is Beverly Hills Cop. I like the Beverly Hills Cop.
Which one is that? Is that the Eddie Murphy one?
Yeah,
Axel Foley.
Axel Foley. He's the cop that comes from Detroit to try to figure out this crime that happened. He goes to Beverly Hills.
Which, okay. What is the song?
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what song I was singing.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not. Okay, I'm on board. Go.
For me, a lot of that one was the feelings because I liked Eddie Murphy, his stand up back then. Like it was.
He was good. His stand up's good. Yeah, it's still good.
It's when I was able to. This is what I say when Eddie Murphy was funny. Like he's. This is me as a kid being able to watch Eddie Murphy stuff and so when I saw this movie and him acting and not just see him doing stand-up comedy was really funny. And then some of the lines in that movie were just kind of the banana in the tailpipe thing. And there's a lot of other things and how he goes about being this cop and trying to solve this crime and making friendships with the other 2 cops from the Beverly Hills precinct.
Okay, question. 48 Hours. That was also an Eddie Murphy comedy.
Yeah, that was
also a comedy, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what
that was with Nick Nolte, I believe. Wasn't it Nick
Yes,
Nolte? Yeah.
Nick Nolte.
So you had a 48 hours and another.
That motherfucker's crazy. All right.
So that was my number 4.
All right, weapon 2, number 3.
First Blood. First Blood. Rambo's coming back after a hard time in Vietnam.
First Blood.
He's coming back. He just wants to take it back.
Is Rambo 1 First Blood?
What's that?
Rambo 1 is First Blood, right? So it's
Yes.
First Blood. Yeah.
So
Rambo 1
2 is First Blood 2 then?
First Blood. What?
It was Rambo 2 First Blood? I thought.
No, that was like Rambo. Rambo was
I
2.
thought Rambo 1 was Rambo.
No, Rambo.
No.
It's First
Okay.
Blood,
All right,
and then
all right.
it's
First Blood is the first Rambo movie.
Yes.
The introduction of John Rambo. He's coming home after Vietnam.
It's Second
He's to
Blood.
the small town. He's He's getting hassled by the police. All he wants to do is like have some breakfast, and he wants to just chill out. And they're like telling him, "Hey, you need to get out of town. We're going to drive you to the edge of town. You better not come back." And he's like, "What's going on here, man? Why are you all hassling me?" And they're like, next thing you know, they're like roughing him up and they're throwing him in jail. And he's like a caged animal. And this guy's a Green Beret. You don't mess with John Rambo. So he decides, I'm getting the heck out of here. So he gets out, and they're chasing him. They won't let it go. They won't leave John Rambo alone. They chase him up into the mountains, and they're trying to, and they're even trying to kill him. John doesn't want anything. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He tells them, "Hey, you guys drew first blood." And then he takes them. They're coming into his territory. He's up on the mountain. He knows how to do this. He's building tiger traps. He's building all kinds of these booby traps to get these guys. They're coming up there. John Rambo has a gunny sack that he cut up and he put over him, and a Bowie knife. That's all he's got up there. He's taking all these guys out. And then his commander comes back and says, "Hey, I'm here to protect you guys from John Rambo, not you from John Rambo from you." And then he winds up taking over the whole town, goes down there, shoots all the bad cops, and then there's like a whole huge bunch of sequels to come after that.
I just want you to tell me stories before bed. I just want you to sit there and just read shit and just tell me about movies because you make them come to life.
Okay.
That was well done.
That was awesome.
Okay. What are we, 3?
3.
Shit. Okay. Number 3 for me is Terminator. A lot of the reasons that Weapon 2, I think I already said. Awesome. Bit more of a horror feel than other movies in the series to come. I'm a big fan of Terminator 2. I think that's the best movie in the series, but in terms of sticking in the 80s, I think this set the bar, set the standard. Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Unstoppable Killing Machine was totally believable. Like, there was genuine moments of like fear and tension, and like you're actually scared for the human characters in that.
Did the Terminator 2 come in late
1991.
80s? Was it 91?
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, Terminator for me. Tikrala.
Number 3 for me is Predator. So it's pretty much the same reasons that you like it. I just love the jungle scene, and you see Jesse the Body Ventura with that Gatling gun and just tearing up the jungle, and it's
You guys still throwing the body. Jesse,
you
the
got
body.
to.
Well,
The
you got
body.
is Jesse the Body, man.
You can't just say Jesse Ventura. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This fucking guy.
Yeah,
Not
right.
Governor Ventura.
Fuck that.
No, what?
That's Jesse
He
the
wasn't known
Body,
as Governor back then. He
motherfucker.
was Jesse the Body
No,
Ventura.
you're right. I'm sorry. Go.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger and his throwdown with this alien, and you have Carl Weathers, and just the everybody remembers the scene where Carl Weathers and Arnold meet each other and
They shake hands.
Dylan, you son of a bitch, and they like have that scene where they show their biceps, and you're just like, oh, like because they a lot of 80s action movies had the guys with the big muscles, and they had like they're shooting and explosions and running away from explosions. So this movie it's my number 3 for a lot of those reasons, and just to see Arnold Schwarzenegger in a movie that was different than like Conan, because I remember him in Conan, and I didn't really. I wasn't really into the Conan movies, so.
It is funny, that scene where they like do the handshake and they both are flexing. I'm just like, that's what a man's supposed to look like, huh? Oh well, not for me.
And they're just trying to see who's going to break the hold. It's like, what's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils.
Yikes. All right. Weapon 2.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Nice.
Yes, I love this because this is
That's the first one?
What's that?
That's the first
yes,
one?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, first one. Now, I like this because when I was a kid, I used to like these. I'm a big fan of the old serials. We used to, when I was, that's how big a nerd I was. Sometimes at lunchtime at school, the librarian would put on these old 30s and 40s movie Saturday morning serials and I used to even like to listen to the old radio serials too. Anyways, so this was an adventure movie, kind of reminiscent of that type stuff. Big fan of Harrison Ford and his acting and a lot of movies he's in. And it's just the old-fashioned thing where the Nazis are the bad guys. They want to get this superpowered thing through the Ark. Harrison Ford's trying to find it because he's an archaeologist. He wants to have it for history and for all the good things that you want old artifacts for. And so he's trying to search. He's supposed to find it. He's trying to get out there, trying to go to the desert. He's encountering Nazis, and they're trying to stop him at every move. They find it. Oh, and they didn't know what they had because it blows up their heads and they all melt. And so then he keeps it. He gets stored in a big warehouse somewhere. But he's got a whip and he's got a gun, and he knows how to use them. Indiana Jones.
Is this
definitely
the
afraid of
movie
snakes.
when the dude with the sword is like swinging it around and he just pulls the gun out and shoots him?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's the only
That
thing
is
I
what.
remember.
Do you know why that was an ad lib?
He was sick.
He was sick.
Yeah.
He had some type of horrible gut thing, and he was supposed to get him with the whip and everything, and he said, I'm just going to shoot this guy.
That'll make it way more sense.
Nice.
All right, number 2 for me is Return of the Jedi.
Interesting Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So, Return of the Jedi, 1983. It's fantastic. The conclusion of the original trilogy. I won't get too deep into why I like it because we're planning at some point in the future to do a Star Wars themed podcast where I feel like we're going to break down all these movies really deeply.
Yes, sir.
But just know I liked it. It is probably my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie just in general. Awesome. Great movie. Great wrap up to the original trilogy and my 2nd favorite 80s movie action of all time.
Nice.
T-Crawler.
My number 2 is Aliens. Just like you said, with the first Aliens, more of a horror feel to it. Aliens, again, I like the fact that here we are on you have these people that are on a planet trying to eradicate these aliens that have, I guess they've infested the planet. But the thing that stood out the most for me was, again, all the shooting, and then these aliens had acid blood. I just couldn't get over that when I was, younger watching this. I'm like, oh my god, how are they going to kill these things if the blood gets on them? Blah, blah, blah. But you deal with the acid blood and all that good stuff, and like, of course, you have like a lot of these 80s movies have great one-liners, and you already mentioned Sigourney Weaver in the mech suit, but that and just the CGI or the makeup for that movie at the time was pretty phenomenal. I think it stood out a lot compared to a lot of the other sci-fi stuff for me that was out at that time. So,
well, we should mention too how this movie and its predecessor influenced the genre moving forward. Like you can see the influence of Alien and Aliens in like sci-fi action movies and video games like Halo and stuff like that. Like they definitely like were kind of genre breaking at the time. So
right,
yeah, I think they did a lot for movies and for video games moving forward.
True. Yeah.
Okay.
My number 2.
Number
This,
1.
This is not only my favorite action adventure movie of the 1980s. It's my favorite movie, period. This is the movie Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. This is the best Star Wars movie, and in my opinion, in my lifetime, the best movie. This is the culmination of Luke Skywalker, the great battle on Hoth. Han Solo's there, Chewbacca's there, Princess Leia's there. They're battling the Empire. They're trying to fight back. Here comes the AT-ATs. They're coming in. They're trying to wrap them up with the lines, trip them up. In this movie, you also get the amazing information that's given to Luke that not only is Luke Skywalker's father alive, it is Darth Vader. It is Darth Vader. He tells him that he's his father. Luke, he's already cut off Luke Skywalker's arm though. Luke's no, and he falls down the thing, falls out of the whole Death Star, and then he goes traveling to Dagobah where he meets Yoda and gets his initiation to the Jedi training. It's the best movie. It's the best. It's culmination of the best reveal in all of Star Wars. It's my favorite movie. I love that movie. I love Star Wars.
Well said. All right, my number 1.
I feel like we need popcorn when he does this. It's like, oh my god.
My number 1 80s action movie of all time is Empire. Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
My number 1 also. It is also my favorite Star Wars movie. It is the best Star Wars movie.
You are right.
I won't go as deep as Weapon 2 did. I can't follow that. But I will say one of my favorite scenes in that movie is the scene in Sky City or whatever when
Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
But it's not that one. It's when Han and Chewie walk into the dining room and they just see fucking Vader sitting there.
Yeah.
And without thinking, without hesitation,
blasts.
without asking a question, Han draws and fucking shoots. Because
Yeah.
Han shoots first, motherfuckers.
Yeah, take that, Greedo.
But Vader,
take that, Greedo.
being as badass as he is just like, oh, I'm going to block this. I'm going to block that laser. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take that gun from across the room. Hey, have a seat. Like a fucking boss. Yeah. So, yeah, that movie, again, when we do our Star Wars podcast, we'll get way more into it. But I agree with everything you said. That is fucking cinematic magic. So, also, let's talk about Industrial Light and Magic, the special effects company that was essentially created just to make the effects for the original Star Wars up their fucking game. Watching the special features of how they filmed the Hoth sequence is actually insanely cool because, they didn't have the same kind of CGI. So yeah, all miniatures. Really cool to watch. Anyway, T. Crowley, number 1.
My number 1 was RoboCop, 1987. I loved this movie
Because they shoot people in the dick.
Oh yeah, man, they shoot a lot. Again, in the 80s, there's just a lot of shooting and just blowing stuff up. And I was a kid. I was out there playing with my, freaking shooting. And I just like RoboCop. Like, you get this cop that's, trying to do his job, and you get Peter Weller, who plays RoboCop. And, you don't really get to see him in anything. I was surprised when I saw him in Dexter. And,
he's in a lot of shit.
I didn't really see him in anything else.
He's in Star Trek Into Darkness. He's in...
Was he?
Yeah.
He's in a lot of things.
Maybe I didn't notice him. But anyway, so you
Part
get this
man,
guy...
part robot.
Because he's not part robot, so it's hard to tell.
Murphy gets all shot up, and it was just freak. They destroyed him, and they shot his hand off first, and then the laugh from one of the henchmen, of Clarence Boddicker and his henchmen. It was just like, it just stood out all the time. Like, I don't know how many times I watched that movie, and I walked around like RoboCop, like a freaking giant.
Can you show me? Can you show me how you walk around like a RoboCop?
I don't. I could, but it's not. Maybe some
Okay.
times. But
maybe afterwards.
But yeah, it was.
Maybe on our video you can show me how you walk like RoboCop.
I liked RoboCop was awesome, and then you had the guy that played Clarence Boddicker. It's cool to see him. Like, he's in that '70s show. He plays Red Foreman's father, and every time I see that show and I see him, I just think Clarence Boddicker. And it gave that movie RoboCop gave me the feel of, like, so the robot had his part robot, mostly robot anyway. He had to objectives or certain directives he could not go past, and he had to do certain things. And then when he was fighting against a bigger robot that was supposed to be a better version, Ed, I think it was Ed 209 or whatever. But it was just that big robot, and that robot tore people up. Like, he gave them, you have 10 seconds to lay down your weapon, and they would lay it down, and they just wouldn't listen. It would malfunction, and it went crazy. So, and it was like, again, it was really funny when you watch it now to see how they portrayed the future and, like, some of the commercials they had on the TV and stuff like that. So it's just, that was, for me, it was a feel good movie for me, and it was, just to see this robot cop running around. It was pretty cool.
So I too love RoboCop. I actually like the sequels, even though they're not good now. But let's point out again, going back to practical effects, I miss blood packs. Like, I miss in that movie when they're just shooting the fuck out of people and the blood packs are fucking exploding.
Yeah.
Because lots of times in movies they'll use CGI for blood even, and it just comes off as fake. And I bring back the blood packs. I think it's dope.
I do like some practical effects better than some of the CGI that people do now. I agree with you.
So
So,
my favorite scene in that, though, I never get over, is at the end of the movie where he runs. He's walking through this industrial park where he's holed up. He's trying to get all healed up and stuff, and practices aiming without his mask and stuff. But Clarence Boddicker and his henchmen get there, and the one guy who has he has the truck, and he's driving it towards RoboCop, and he shoots at the truck, and he walks away real slow, and a guy runs into the freaking toxic waste vat, and he comes out, and he's all melted, like,
so gross.
And the guy's like, man, get away from me!
I like
and
that
another car comes through, and it freaking smashes him and blows him.
This is a hard R movie with crazy violence, shooting people in the
Oh,
dick,
man.
and it was marketed toward kids. I remember having RoboCop action figures. So honorable mentions for me are Die Hard, Top Gun, RoboCop, First Blood, Bloodsport, and Running Man.
Okay, what sense did it make to have a top five list when you would make a top 10?
That's not top 10. Those are honorable mentions.
Yeah, we're just mentioning the
I'm
names
mentioning
of
them honorably.
Just names,
Okay.
and we're not really
I'm
going
not
into
gonna talk
why.
about it.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
I
talk
hear
about
you.
it.
Hey, do you want to hear what the internet said about their top 5?
Yes.
I had a list of honorable.
You could do top 10 for the internet.
What's that?
You could do top 10 for the internet.
Maybe next time. I only did top 5 this
Okay.
time.
I want my. You don't have any honorables that you wanted to
What's that?
mention?
I had a whole bunch, but I didn't know if we were doing that. I thought we were trying to. I don't know. I was just.
I mean, it's
I
just
know.
to
I
name
don't.
them. You don't have to go.
Shut off. Do you have honorables?
I do.
A lot of the ones you guys have already talked about are some of
Yeah.
my honorable
I was
mentions.
gonna say a lot of them are yours, like Running Man. Commando is one of mine. What was the other one? Batman, actually. Batman with Michael Keaton's Batman.
I mean, I would have A New Hope as mine because that's my
wait,
second
no,
favorite
no, no,
Star
no,
Wars
no.
movie.
Hang the fuck on right now. Batman? You said no superhero movies. You made a
Yeah, you
big
goddamn
fucking
lie.
deal about no superhero
Yeah,
movies.
why?
And then you
That was
fucking
your- that
throw-
was your
that
rule.
was your fucking thing.
You're a liar.
I'm not a liar.
Your house,
I said
you're
for-
built on a house of
It's not
lies.
in my
You're-
top 5.
Motherfucker, top 5 honorable mention. You're making the list
Yeah,
based on movies
no,
that are eligible
no,
to be made, and
no.
you said no fucking
We were
superhero
going to
movies.
include
You
superhero movies,
fucking
and he's the
piece
one
of
that
shit.
said we couldn't include them. You are a goddamn lie.
The tears taste so good.
Okay, here we go. Here's what the internet said.
Never
That
trust
liar.
Batman-
That goddamn liar.
I just add that in because I'm like, I know
Which
I
one's
said
your
no
honorable
heroes.
mention?
You're a
But no,
goddamn liar.
I have Running Man, Commando, and what's it? Bloodsport, Terminator, Big Trouble, Little China. Those.
Yeah.
Batman I added at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Big
here
Trouble.
we go.
Oh, and Chuck Norris, Delta Force.
Oh, well, why don't we just keep naming movies?
Oh, and
Let's just. I thought this was a top 5. Now it's turned into. I don't know. I got a 20. I listed 25.
Well, apparently superhero movies are on the docket. It's fucking Kangaroo Court. Anyway, go ahead.
my
Here's what the
God.
internet says. The internet says,
Like
this
call
is
a
like
ambulance.
seven different lists that I put together. Die Hard on all 7 lists. Number 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark on 5 lists. Number 3, Terminator on 4 lists. You have Lethal Weapon on 3 lists. Aliens on 2. That's your top 5 from the internet.
Pretty
Nice.
good. All right.
Cool.
What do we got now? This or that? Is that what we're doing?
This.
Yes. This.
Or that? Or. Oh, are we doing that?
Yeah.
Shit. Strategy
This.
two. Or.
That.
This.
Nailed it first try.
No, we're going to get faster and faster. This.
Or.
That.
This.
That.
This. All right. Here we go. This or that. You ready?
This is my favorite segment, guys.
Here we go.
All right.
Number 1.
Again, I didn't read the email.
I know.
You know what? These,
I know. That's
didn't-
what I like
I
about
didn't
you.
read these either because I know you sent it out, and I didn't
Yeah.
read the top part where you said no, you guys. So I wanted to go this time without
Oh,
reading.
you guys. This is going to be great. Let's do this.
I wanna see how
Number
everyone likes
1. You already know this one because you gave this one to me, Lonnie. Would you rather be able to turn invisible, knowing you would never know how long you would stay invisible, and you would be naked when you became visible again, or be able to hear / know everyone's thoughts within a 20-foot radius at all times?
Invisible. The fucking hearing thoughts thing would drive you fucking
You would
crazy.
never know when you become visible when you're going
That's
to
cool,
be
gotta
but
naked.
give
if
That's
you
credit.
cool.
could hear everybody talking for 20
That-
miles,
You might only be invisible
20 feet.
invisible for like
he said 20 miles.
5
20
minutes.
feet?
You said 20 feet, right?
20 feet or 20
Yeah.
miles? That's a big difference.
20 feet.
Oh, yeah, fuck that then.
Yeah.
I got to give credit to Venom. That was one that he brought up, so I don't want to take credit for that. But I would pick the invisibility. It's not knowing when you're going to turn visible is kind of a it's a kind of chance
Turn
you have
on?
to take. But I mean, you could be doing if you're doing something and all of a sudden you turn visible and you're butt naked. Like it's a lot of trouble there. But I think you could turn invisible again right away.
I want to know everybody's thoughts.
So you're taking invisibility.
I'm taking invisibility. I'm not wanting to hear everybody's thoughts.
I'm taking mind reading, 20 feet radius.
Mind reading. Yeah, I could do a lot more of that.
I'm invisible.
Number 2. Harvey, what about you? What are you going to take?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
the original
All right,
was like
number 2. I
minimum
thought I
10
would
minutes.
include him. I wanted to be all inclusive. Would you rather be transported permanently 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past? You can pick 5 items of your choice, any item to take with you to the past.
I'm going to go with the past strictly because we don't know what 500 years in the future is going to look like. That could be some post-apocalyptic shit. So, and if you could pick 5 items to go back with,
What would you take with you?
give me a minute. I got to think.
That is one that you got to think about. Man, 500 in the past. That's, jeez, no, wouldn't be good for me. No matter where I go, it's not.
Take a second.
It's not a good time. I'm not gonna be having a good time. I'm gonna go to the future. I'll take my chances.
I'm going 500 years into the past.
What, do
Five
you know
items-
what
five
items are
of-
you taking?
First, $1 trillion is my first item I'm taking. A bank. I'm taking a safe.
But hang on.
be able to carry this stuff.
You're taking U.S. cash. It wasn't even a country back then.
No, in gold.
I was going to say, you should take fucking gold with you.
In gold.
Okay.
$5 trillion in gold.
What about like a fucking semi or full auto weapon? Like they didn't have that back then.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
a
yeah. This is
striker
my.
vehicle.
That was just one of my 5
Yeah,
things.
like an AR or something. What else are your 5?
I'm gonna take a lot of ammo.
But no, every bullet's an item. He said 5 items.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good gun, no bullets.
So what's the point of it being full auto then?
I would take like a Striker or a Bradley vehicle.
Oh, there you go.
You'd be
Harvey.
king.
Yeah. What do you have 5
Yeah,
items?
but what
you're
if it
taking?
breaks down, and how are you
So
going
you
to
take
keep
your
it
you
around?
only need
Stryker
to
or
use it
Bradley,
once.
but you take some solar panels so you can actually
No,
connect.
How are you going to
just
get
use it
fuel?
once,
How are you
that's
going to
it.
get fuel?
No,
Take solar
they'll think
panels.
it's
That was
magic.
Item number 2 is solar panels.
Tell me a tank that runs on solar panels.
You have to create it. You have to like work on.
We're
that.
talking about
This
things
scenario
that
doesn't
exist
make
right
you
now.
smarter.
We're not now imagining if we had superpower intellects.
Yeah,
if we're
make a
what
solar
we're gonna
panel.
create.
Do you even know how a solar
exists.
panel
What I'm
works?
saying, what I'm thinking is the solar panel has like a like a lighter adapter, and you plug it into the lighter in the tank, and it runs that way. There you go. Problem solved.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
That's why I'm going to the future.
Here we go.
This
No,
is too
I'm
much.
not bringing anything else with me. I'd have to make a list. I'm not going to come up with this on the spot. This is an important list to take with me 500 years into the past.
Okay.
Number 3. Choose one of these powers. Would you rather be able to control fire or water?
Water. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with water also.
I'm going to go fire to be opposite you guys.
I'm just like, I'm not a superhero fighting supervillains. So like fire is cool, but like that's more of like a fighting weapon.
You just want to send a tsunami to wipe out an entire village? Is that what you want to do?
No, I just want to make hot chicks have to wear wet t-shirts whenever I want.
Very simplistic. All right, number 4. Would you rather see what was behind every closed door or be able to guess the combination of every safe on the first try?
Guess the safe combination.
Yeah, me too. Guess the safe
Like
combination.
what good scenes, some shit behind a door I can't get through.
Could be a guy with a gun.
What?
Could be a guy with a gun behind the next door.
We're talking about like
be.
you're still living in your life. Like I mean, you're
Could
not,
be a Yeti.
I mean, how often do you come across a guy with a gun?
There could be
behind
a
the door?
Yeti behind the door.
A Sasquatch?
Yeah,
I'm going.
I'm going lock.
I'm
thing.
going that
Yeah.
combination.
Yeah, me too.
I love it when you argue the other side when you agree with us.
Number 5.
Is this the last one?
This is always a five question
Okay.
list. Okay, here we go. This is the last one, number 5. Would you rather be able to talk to land animals, animals that fly, or animals that live under the water?
Land animals. Because nothing that can fly is big enough for me to write it. So,
I agree. I'd like to talk to land animals because back to this question we were talking about being a beastmaster. I still think it would be cool just send a bear attack somebody. Attack bears! Attack lions! Tigers! Get them! That's what I
I
want.
just want to ride a lion or ride a bear. Like,
I want to use them as weapons.
yeah.
What about you,
Well,
Lonnie? Tell us.
we can only talk to them, though. We can't control them, so we'd have to, like, negotiate him
Lonnie,
into
by
attacking.
land, by sea, or by air?
I'm gonna go by air. By air, like the eagles and hawks and the big birds of prey.
Raptors?
Sure.
Coming in, yeah.
Your raptor ain't shit compared to my lion, bro.
My raptor can swoop down and attack your lion without your lion being able to do anything to my raptor.
I can't. I don't know how to do it.
You can stop that now.
Okay. I might do it again. It'll be completely unexpected if I do it again. I'm not promising I will. I'm just saying I might.
Holy shit.
That last one was
I want all you guys to know that sounded better in the headphones.
Oh my
that was
gosh.
some surround sound shit we just
that was
experienced.
hilarious.
Okay, so that does it for this or that. Oh, wait, are we going to do it again? Do it.
This.
Or.
That.
This.
Or.
That.
This.
Or.
That.
Or.
This.
That.
Or. Nailed it. All right, so that's all the segments. Anything else we want to touch on before we wrap this bad boy up? No?
I'm going to be hanging out with everybody. We'll be kung fu fighting.
You're just going to like reference some obscure song every time we end the podcast?
Whatever, man.
It's his thing. Let him do his thing. It's like, you know.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do.
All right.
Yeah.
Makes you entertaining. Hey, thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest.
Hey, we're going to talk
podcast.
anything about our drawing and that we've.
Son of a bitch. That's why I asked if there was anything else we wanted to talk about, and nobody said anything. So I was just gonna wrap
Son
up.
of a bitch. This is all I'm saying.
Gosh, this is.
We're gonna we're recording this now, and by tomorrow.
Are we recording this now?
Which tomorrow will be the
Recording this
18th.
now?
We're going to be putting up a video of Jennifer and the box that we sent her. So it's going to be awesome. And I want everybody to know that I'm going to be posting on the Facebook all the directions for continuing to be in the drawing, because we're not going to talk about it all over again right now. But I'm going to post it in writing on the Facebook page. And so get excited about this. Share it with your friends.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be awesome. Keep growing our
professional.
subscribership. We want.
Come on, guys. Grow up. Really.
Okay.
Like and subscribe. Peace.
Peace.
That was the funniest
Oh my God.
fucking thing.